Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
So, we are nearly underway with 2020 and all the excitement motorsport brings, but let's take one last look back at 2019 and the best crashes from the year just gone. These are my 10 favourite crashes from last year, but a quick point before we start, the Antoine Hubert crash is not on my list because it's tragic and heartbreaking and I don't want to see it. It's a reminder of the dangers of motorsport and a lesson well learned. But even many months on, it's a sad moment to look back on. So we start with number 10 on the list.
Here's John Paul Buffin in the Intercontinental GT Challenge, the 24-hour race of Spa, and he just loses it on the brakes into the barrier, leaves most of the BMW behind. That was a big smash. Resting on the grass, and we move on to World Rallycross. Here's number 9. And that is Nittis getting kind of R-rated with another car. Now here's a race in the Volkswagen Racing Cup in the UK at Snetterton. Two cars going off, hitting the barriers and bouncing over them. That's Crossley and Smith. In the European Le Mans Series at Silverstone, Mike Gauche in the United Autosports car being spun off into the barrier and having no front left. Now here's the interesting race from Denmark in the Citroën DS3 Cup. Nothing too unnormal. 3 cars off, one upside down. It's a bit wet, you can see why. And then chaos ensues. 4 more cars, 5, 6, 7, and absolute carnage. Cars at all angles, and another one. That would be 8. Or possibly 9. I lost count. Now, the big crash at Pocono with Takuma Sato mainly being blamed unfairly in my opinion. There's a lot going on here. Not a lot of space at Pocono. There you go. 2 cars shooting off that way. Back across the track. Takuma Sato almost being launched over the fence. I think Ryan Hunter-Ray was the other one who rolled it there. Lots of damage done. There you go, 2 cars upside down there. And here's Thierry Neuville from Chile, just hitting a bank and rolling it. This was a pivotal point in his championship year. He lost ground after this race. And as you can see, the damage was pretty extreme after a very pretty roll. That was the end of his Hyundai. Here's an interesting one. Here's Alex Peroni, the number 3 on the list, just launching it into the air off a curb. Spinning in the air, hits the barrier. Luckily he only had minor injuries. No one else was hurt. Parking it nicely on the barrier. Now here's number 2, V8 Supercar champion Scott McLaughlin in the Ford Mustang. Luckily he'd already dominated the championship up to this point. Clips the curb, sends the car into the wall, then into the other wall, and then he's on his roof. This was qualifying for the Gold Coast race, and he would miss the main race. And he had a good bit of sportsmanship. Here's Shane Van Gisbergen getting out, helping his fellow Kiwi. There is Scott McLaughlin unharmed, getting out of the car, pretty shaken up I should imagine. But Australia had some big crashes this year, and my number 1 is the John Iafola crash in the Toyota 86 Racing Series. Somehow managing to hit a pickup truck and a digger, just destroying his Toyota. He got out okay, the car not so much. If you just watch it again, coming through the chicane, I don't know if he made contact with another car, but he just shoots straight off, hits the barrier at a certain angle, but sends the car over it, rolling down the hill, destroys the back of a pickup truck. The occupants of that are lucky. And that's it. That was my 10 big crashes from 2019. It's not great content. I've got a cold. I'm not very well. But we move on to 2020, and many more insane crashes I'm sure will follow. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. I have other crash compilations and lots of other content to enjoy. So thank you for watching and have a good one.